Welcome to the 2023 National Women's Gymnastics Championship. I'm Ashley Miles Grieg here at Dickies Arena, bringing you everything beam. I am a part of the stream team with ESPN, bringing you every single athlete from both sessions. This is the semifinal number 2. 2 teams have already punched their ticket to the final from semifinal number 1, Florida and LSU. In this session, we've got Utah, UCLA, Oklahoma, and Kentucky. Starting off on the balance beam will be UCLA. And of course, the beam is so important. Beam is always such a crucial event in the postseason. And starting here in rotation 1 for UCLA is a good spot for them. Of course, the format for the postseason is similar to regular season. There'll be 6 athletes that go up on the balance beam. Top 5 scores will count. So a little bit of room if there's a mistake or a fall, but of course, we want all hit routines. Every one of these teams wants to go out and maximize the scoring potential for every routine. Emily Lee in the leadoff spot for UCLA is getting them started on this event. Good combination there. Front aerial, split jump, good position, hits that 180 degrees and gets the connection. Back handspring layout, solid. She looks so comfortable up there. Emily Lee, season high, 9.95, and she's been so big in this leadoff position for UCLA. She's scored 7 times 9-9 or higher on this event. Whenever you have a leadoff competitor in your lineup that can put up those big numbers, that bodes well for the rest of the lineup coming after them. Of course, that leadoff spot really sets the tone, and Emily Lee taking care of business so far. Just the dismount and nails the landing. Another thing I'm keeping track of, all these teams, beam landings are so crucial just to the overall success for a team. The general consensus amongst most coaches is they want to see 4 stuck landings. They feel like if they can see at least 4 stuck landings a lot of times, that's a good indication that the team is dialed in and they're not giving away unnecessary tenths. And with these 4 teams in this second semifinal, those tenths are going to matter. Any one of these teams could earn those top 2 spots. Emily Lee led them off. Sienna Alipio will be next in that second position. And she's a freshman, and she's competed in every meet this season. So very comfortable on this event. Watched her in practice, watched her in warm-ups. She is very much dialed in. Head coach Janelle McDonald talked about knowing how competitive this this national semifinal is going to be. And if they want to earn one of those spots, they have to be competitive and they have to show up from the start. A lot easier said than done sometimes for the balance beam, but UCLA, who has just shown so much joy and lightness, they just have so much fun. If any team can do it, they can. Full turn. You'll see every athlete compete that skill on the balance beam. There's lots of different variations, and it can be tricky sometimes. Front aerial, back tuck, that was spot on. Very calm presence from Sienna on beam. Oh my goodness. She is on point, hit that 180 degrees on the switch leap half to a beat jump. One skill to the next, side aerial, very solid, and her team is back there in the corral. They're a little far from the podium. They are going crazy right now. Back gainer full off the 2 stuck landings for UCLA, 1-2. They did not come to play around. Another thing with this UCLA team on all the events, with Janelle McDonald, they've really dialed into the basics and the foundational gymnastics, and it really shows in just their technique, and that's really dialed in. The rest is just mental, and so far they're showing that they are mentally strong. The score for Emily Lee is in that first position. She goes 9.9. Great start. Again, that 9.9 score in the leadoff is tantamount, because the judges set the bar there, and these routines should continue to get better. Anna Paderewriou is next in that 3rd spot for UCLA on the balance beam. And balance beam, one of those events, it's only 4 inches wide, no wider than your cell phone. If you've got an iPhone, take it out, put it down, look at it. This is a difficult event. The error, the margin for error is so small. And just watching UCLA, just throughout this entire, like the training, the warm-ups, they are just having so much fun. They're dialed in, nice and relaxed. And Anna just getting started. Of course, her season high, 9.95 on this event, so another athlete that has the potential to score big. She'll do the wolf turn here. Double. And she struggled with that just a bit, but in competition, flawless. Side aerial, that handspring, great combination. I think that that combo is so difficult because you've really got to be square on. Beat jump, sheep jump, a little balance check there, but doesn't give too much away. Really took her time there to make sure that the wobble didn't get bigger, just the dismount. 1.5, and again, you could tell she was really a little tight on that, going for that stuck dismount and squatted pretty low and took a step back. The score for Sienna Alipio in that 2nd spot, the same as the leadoff, 9.9. So 2 scores of 9.9 to get this beam lineup started for UCLA. And you have to think that Anna Paderewriou's score with that slight bobble and then the mishap on the dismount is not going to be in that threshold of the 9.9. But again, only 5 scores count, 6 go up, so that may end up being the score that they want to drop. Jordan Chiles up next in the lineup. She almost needs no introduction. Jordan, one of those athletes that's actually competed in the all-around in every single meet for UCLA. And she just is personality out the wazoo, just always having fun. You see her just music in the background. Just so much fun. And she is always like that, just dialed in. Okay, Jordan. Now she's going to get on the balance beam. Really unique gymnastics there, just showing off what she can do. And just watching her, there's a million different combinations. She's so talented of what she could do. She can throw just about anything. Back handspring, layout, triple flight series. And she does beam like it's on the floor. Switch leap wolf jump, beautiful. And finishes that full turn up on releve. She's out there really showing this routine off. She's so dialed in, very comfortable. Side aerial. Double pike, one of the most difficult dismounts you'll see. And again, going for that stick. And she didn't have to do that. She opened up a little bit and ended up landing short and taking a pretty sizable step forward. Unfortunately, that's going to be the biggest deduction, but great routine from Jordan. Update on the scores: Emily Lee and Sienna Alipio in spots 1 and 2 went 9.9. Anna Paderewriou went 9.7875. So those two slight mistakes from her really affected the score. And Selena Harris is on deck up next. She's had a remarkable season for UCLA, was the freshman Pac-12 freshman of the year. Scored her first perfect 10 in the postseason on the vault. And we all saw that moment between her and Jordan Chiles was very special. In the postseason, also there is a 6-judge panel. So those big scores are a lot harder to come by. You've got the 6 judges. You're going to drop the high score, the low score, and average the middle score. So that's why sometimes you see the odd numbers there, like the 9.7875 from Anna Paderewriou. Big opportunity here. The score in for Jordan Chiles, 9.825. So they're really going to want to build on that. We want to see as many scores in that 9.9 range as possible. 9.975 is the season high for Selena Harris on this event. She could definitely do that if she hits. Another triple flight series, back handspring layout, back handspring. Dialed in, very well executed. And even got a smile there in the choreography. And they practice those things. Switch leap, split leap, into a full turn. So does her full turn in combination, very difficult. Front pike. And again, she's one of those athletes very similar to Jordan in terms of like the technique and style on the balance beam. It's as if she's so comfortable. It's like she's on the floor, which is what you want to see. Does a 1.5 and drills the landing. That's what UCLA needed in that spot. Another stuck landing. Again, we're looking for 4. And so far, 3. That makes the 3rd stuck landing for UCLA. You have to think with that routine, it's probably going to be in that 9.9 range. The anchor for this UCLA beam lineup is Emma Malabuyo. And in this anchor spot, she has just been so strong and really good in pressure situations. She's just a sophomore. 9.975 is her season high. So again, another athlete that has the potential to score very big on this event. And her season best came in the postseason at the NCAA regional in the 2nd round. So that just goes to show in these pressure situations, she's so good and so solid. score in for Selena Harris, and it is a good one. It's 9.9375, the highest score so far in this beam lineup. Emma does a beautiful wolf turn. That handspring layout, showing that off, flawless. Good front aerial, beat jump, gets that connection. Good position on that. That's 180 plus degrees, goes above and beyond that split position. The judges seem to be honing in on that a little bit more in the postseason. I think they're really looking for those positions on the leaps. Just the dismount, if she can get it, oh, stuck dismount, gainer full off the side, and she knows that was a good one. UCLA needed that routine in the anchor spot. Emma Malabuyo taking care of business there for UCLA. So far, they'll be looking to drop that low score from Anna Patarurio at 9.7875. And I think it's safe to say they're going to be able to drop that score and put up a pretty good number here in the opening rotation. So difficult to open an event on the balance beam. Another thing in postseason, the balance beam is actually on a podium. The athletes have time to adjust to that, but it can be a little bit more bouncy. And Bridget Sloan is going to join me here.
Ashley, I'm here. What'd I miss?
How did bars go?
Wow.
Okay.
Bars was very good. Bars was very good. Oklahoma, they're not ranked #1 just by chance. They did beautiful bar routines, got the scores, and Abbey High School.
Amazing in the all-around.
She is someone to watch.
Yeah.
I am very sad she is in her 5th year.
Good deal. So UCLA has put up a really good beam rotation. Their low score right now is a 9.7875. Emma Malabuyo just nailed her routine in that anchor spot.
So they will drop.
So they're going to drop that 9.7875 and I think put up a big number. This is going to be close. And of course, we always have the individual all-arounder and event specialist that qualify. Hannah Scharf from Arizona State is here in the all-around. She's had a remarkable season. This is the 2nd time in her career she's actually qualified in the all-around. Yes, so she's no stranger to being here without her team.
Which can be so difficult as an individual. You're so used to always being with your team all season long. So to be here as an individual, again, you make your own magic, you make your own energy. It's just you and you yourself and I. And
oh, and there, that full turn, it got her, that wolf turn, if you're even just slightly off.
Those are so hard.
It's so difficult, and that's unfortunate right there at the start of the routine that she came off, and she's still gonna have, obviously, 3 more events to compete, so she's just gonna wanna dial in here and not give anything else away. That handspring layout, good flight series. And when you talk about being an individual competitor too and not being here, you know, without your team, I mean, UCLA is probably a pretty good team to rotate
with any team.
They have a lot of fun.
Is a good one.
Yes.
Hannah Scharf just has to dial it back in. You have to be almost like a goldfish in gymnastics. If you make a mistake, you have to forget about it immediately.
Short-term memory.
Move on.
Yeah. I mean, and she's announced, too, that she will be returning for her 5th year at Arizona State, so maybe she'll get another crack at this.
Sun Devils, have no fear. She will be back.
Yes.
And a good one to have in the dismount.
Stuck landing. That's a good way to finish.
Fantastic finish for Hannah. Not the start she wanted, but, again, 1 rotation down. She's got 3 more to prove to herself. She's got it.
Got a lot of good gymnastics coming up. That's going to conclude the beam rotation. UCLA came out and, like, wow, they hit big. 9.9, 9.9, dropped to 9.7. And they had 4 scores above 9.95. Emma Malabuyo went 9.95 to close out in that anchor position. That ties the highest score that we saw in semifinal number 1 as well. So make sure that you come back and join for the second rotation. In the second rotation, we're gonna have Oklahoma on the balance beam. Definitely a team you don't want to miss. We'll be back in the second rotation. Welcome back to rotation number 2 for the NCAA Women's Gymnastics Championship. I'm Ashley Miles-Grieg, bringing you all the action as part of the stream team on the balance beam. In rotation 2, we've got Oklahoma, who is ranked number 2 in the nation on this event. The big story here obviously being the regional mishap where they had multiple falls and had to count a fall on the balance beam and surged back in just the most amazing way to make it here. Key for Oklahoma is going to be to do what they know how to do. They're going to be led off by Jenna Dunn, getting that last bit of encouragement and words from head coach KJ Kindler. And Jenna was one of the ones in that leadoff spot that uncharacteristically came off of the apparatus. Oklahoma feels that was a great experience for them to have and to be able to fight back. They showed really what they were all about as a team. Up until that point, Oklahoma not really challenged that much in the season. I mean, they were just hitting on all cylinders on every single meet, week after week after week. So we'll see how they do. They're ranked number 2 on this event. Back handspring layout, solid. And if you would have watched them warm up, you would never know that anything happened, which is what you want. She's dialed in. I love the way she works beam. She's very aggressive up there, focused, consistent, full turn. Presents very well there. Duck landings are key on this event. That's a huge start for Oklahoma, and you kind of feel like the regionals debacle in the back of the mind. No big deal. They just came out here and do what they always do. Olivia Troutman will follow in the second spot. And for her, she's such a rock for this program and on this team. It was shocking to see her come off of the event. They describe her as really saying like she's got ice in her veins, like she's such a fierce competitor. And they really had to make some adjustments, think that through of why maybe that happened, and they did that. And here we are. Warm-ups looked great. Olivia Troutman's season high on this event, 9.95. And the first rotation UCLA on this event really set the bar high on balance beam. I've seen every single team in the first semifinal. And to get those big scores on beam, like you've got to be flawless. Oklahoma definitely has the ability to do that. And I'm going to assume that that score for Jenna Dunn is going to be in that 9-9 range. Olivia Troutman given the okay to go. Score in for Jenna Dunn, 9.9125. So again, great start in that leadoff position. Oklahoma, one of those teams that really focuses on that leadoff position in a different way than a lot. Flight series, solid there, back handspring layout, right on. In their leadoff spot, they want that leadoff on every event to be a routine that can go 9-9 or better, because the way they see it, if you can start off that strong and the rest of the team hits lights out, The judges have to build off of those scores. Front pike there. Olivia Troutman is rocking this beam routine right now. Just the dismount. Let's see if she can get it. Stuck. Cold. That's 2 for 2 for Oklahoma. 1-2 spot in this semifinal. Oklahoma taking care of business. And that's got to be just a relief to go out there and prove that what happened on that event in regionals really was just that. It was a fluke. It was very uncharacteristic, and they just have moved on from it. That's so great to see. And next up for Oklahoma on the beam is going to be Jordan Bowers. She's ranked 7th in the nation on the balance beam, and she has a season high of just 9.975. So again, another athlete that's got the potential to score big. Of course, 6 athletes go up, 5 scores count. And it's a 6-judge panel in the postseason. So there are 6 judges, a lot more difficult to come by those big scores. They're gonna drop the high and the low and average the 4 middle. Oklahoma, one of those teams where there's a lot of talk that just goes on around them because they're so dominant and so consistent, and just they put good gymnastics out there week after week. And they get the questions about, we talked to KJ Kindler about defending. She's like, they don't have those conversations about defending. It's almost like the athletes don't know how to respond when they get those questions, because they're just focusing on the here and the now and doing their job. Score in for Olivia Troutman. It's a 9.95. So again, huge score. Not much for the judges to take in that routine. So setting up Jordan Bowers beautifully. Great full turn. Again, every athlete will compete that in some form or the other. Lots of different variations of that full turn. Back handspring layout, a little off. Balance break there. Breaks at the hips. So that will be, of course, a deduction, but she fought through it and stayed on the beam. Very important. Split leap, switch leap, half. Good position. And beam has historically always been so important for teams. Double twist, that's 3 stuck landings in a row for Oklahoma. Like 1, 2, 3, 4 is the magic number. The coaches at Oklahoma specifically, they don't preach that to the athletes. Of course, they always want them to try to find those landings, but they feel as a coaching staff, if they can find 4 sticks on beam and also bars, that they're in a good spot and giving away as little as possible. So I am guessing that's going to be another huge score. Oklahoma over here taking care of business on the balance beam. Next up is Faith Torres. Faith is a freshman, and she became just the 10th gymnast named Big 12 Newcomer of the Year. It's always so much fun to see freshmen that are so strong gymnastically come in here and have an immediate impact. Again, the difficulty and the parity and like the level of gymnastics is so incredible right now. You're gonna continue to see new teams break into the mix and into the conversation. Oklahoma definitely does a good job of consistently performing well. Winning 5 of the last 8 championships. That's strong numbers. Jordan Bowers, 9.825. Again, just that slight balance check on the tumbling series. Otherwise, she would have been right there in that 9-9 range. So this feels like the score that they might want to be able to drop. Faith Torres off to a good start. Does a side aerial, back layout. She really gets good height on that, good position, attacks that landing. It leaves no question whether or not she was on that. Good position, gets that 180 degree in that split leap. Just the dismount here. Let's see if we can get a fourth stuck. Not gonna give that the stick, but it was very, very close. So again, another strong routine. Coach KJ Kindler very, very happy with that. Oklahoma is rallying, taking care of business on the balance beam. Again, Jenna Dunn opened them out with a 9.9125. Olivia Troutman, 9.95. No trouble from those two athletes in the 1 and 2 spot. Jordan Bowers goes 9.825. And next up on deck, Audrey Davis. She's a junior and she has competed on balance beam in every meet this season. So plenty of experience. She's getting those last words of encouragement, last thoughts, notes. That mental toughness is so important on this event. Another thing interesting about Oklahoma is they talked about being a road team. They consider themselves a road team. Actually, they feel a little bit more pressure competing at home in front of their home crowd because they have had so much success and the teams are so good. It's like their fan base expects them to perform. They hosted that regional, and I think that was a key factor in, you know, helping them fight through that adversity so much. So they actually like being on the road. Beautiful opening there from Audrey Davis. Just really unique skills, showing off her flexibility there. Good full turn. Another athlete that has very good lines. She's very lifted on this event. She finishes everything with the hand movement so strongly. Nails that back handspring layout. The score is in for Faith Torres. She goes 9.925. So again, Oklahoma rocking it over here on the balance beam. They're very particular about the composition of their routines, how they put them together to maximize that scoring potential. They do that just about as good as any team in college gymnastics, for sure. Leap jump, split, ring. Her vision actually leaves the balance beam on that skill. So risky, they practice that. Just the dismount, double twist, and oh, almost had the stick, just a slight step back, really tried to control that landing. Again, Audrey Davis, great routine. And they've got one of the best closers in college gymnastics on this event. In fact, they had a comeback last year. I mean, it was one for the record books. They surged. They were in 4th place going into the last rotation, and on the balance beam, they clinched the national title. It was unbelievable, and that was due to Reagan Smith in the anchor position where she went 9.9625. So no stranger to the pressure in this moment. Reagan Smith has 15 career beam titles, and she has scored a perfect 10 on this event this season. So again, fairly strong routine. So far, the low score from Jordan Bowers in that 3rd spot, 9.825. Depending on what Audrey Davis's score comes in at, so far that's looking like the score that more than likely will be dropped. And it is. Audrey Davis's score is in. She goes 9.8625. So not in that 9.9 range. That step back. Those stuck landings are so crucial on the balance beam. These meets a lot of times come down to hundreds and 1,000s of just tenths. So important. Good opportunity for Reagan here to close out this beam rotation in a big way. Back handspring layout, slight balance check. I tell you what, beam is one of those events that you just never know. But very slight there. Front aerial. Reagan's has a style where she moves very quickly throughout her skills. She just kind of keeps moving, flows through this routine, doesn't take many breaks. Beautiful combination, back handspring, swing down. Nice and square on that. Nails that required full turn. And you got to think she's got to try to get this landing here on the dismount. A stick would be huge here, and she does. Great anchor routine from Reagan Smith to close out Oklahoma's beam rotation. In rotation 2, they do a really good job. And I am going to welcome Bridget Sloan in, who finished the bar, so she's joining me on the balance beam. And Bridget, let me tell you, Oklahoma did a good job. No problems in the 1-2 spot from Jenna Dunn and Olivia Troutman. They both go 9.9 better or plus. And they had several small balance checks. You see the 9.8 range scores from Audrey Davis and Jordan Bowers, but really good job from Reagan Smith also anchoring. Just a slight little balance check from her. But Oklahoma did what they needed to do.
I mean, if you want anyone to anchor your beam lineup, it's Reagan Smith. She is an outstanding performer.
And she did it last year, you know, at
and
NCAAs.
Clinch that championship.
Yeah, that was
no doubt.
Big moment. Big moment. Of course, we always talk about the individual competitors. Well, this is one here that, you know, Michigan, the team, didn't qualify in one of the most dramatic regionals. I did that one, so I was there. I know it was the tie-break, you know, procedure, but Abbey High School, you know, here has a really, really good chance of winning the all-around. And how did she do on?
She is leading bars right now with a 9.95. She has perfect technique. I mean, she truly has textbook technique. And she's used to being in the leadoff position. So her being in the 7th spot, it's a little different. But, man, she's a veteran.
Yeah.
I mean, she knows how to do it. She knows how to dial it in.
Yeah, she's amazing. She just, this is a big moment for her. She's going to go out there. She's going to have fun. Watched her warm up. And Reagan Smith does go 9.9, so huge beam score for Oklahoma. But now we get to enjoy Abbey. Cat leap, side aerial again, and she finessed that. Was a little off, and I wouldn't even think you could take a deduction on that. We could see it just because we have that eye, but didn't give anything away.
No, Abbey is one of those athletes capable of doing greatness every time.
Yep. Back handspring layout, again, that micro adjustment. That's going to be a very, very minimal deduction on that flight series. Gets that full turn out of the way, no problem.
That full turn can give people a lot of issues, but Abbey, no problem there. And the dismount.
1.5. And, you know, you see the athletes going for that stick so hard sometimes that she ended up doing like a little stutter step hop.
It looked like she was really fighting for it and almost got caught in the mat a little bit.
Yep, with those toes. Those
had
toes
to
were
take
gripping.
a little two-stepper. Very, very minor, but Again, we are used to seeing Abby stick everything.
Yeah, but, you know, it's the national championships.
That
I mean,
is
those
true.
nerves, like, are a real thing. Like, they can come out in not the best moments sometimes, but good beam routine from Abby. And Oklahoma does a great job on beam. Make sure you come back for the beam stream in the third rotation, where we will see Kentucky on the balance beam. Welcome back to rotation 3 of 4 on the balance beam. I'm Ashley Miles Grieg on the stream team, bringing you every balance beam routine. Here in rotation 3 is Kentucky on the balance beam, and Kentucky currently in the 4th spot in this competition with a really big opportunity to just go out there and perform on balance beam. Kentucky, of course, one of those teams that's had a historic season. And to say it simply, Kentucky has broken every season record this season. If there was a record that's out there for Kentucky, they broke it this year, literally. They have had a historic season under head coach Tim Garrison, where through the years, they've just been inching closer and closer and getting better to breaking in to that top echelon. This was a goal of theirs. They wanted to be here. This is actually only Kentucky's 2nd appearance as a team at this meet. The last time, 2018. It's a program history for them. Qualifying for nationals was such a big accomplishment for this team. They've kind of embraced, too, that underdog role. And they feel like, hey, look, we're the underdogs. Don't count us out. We're going to get out here and just let it loose, have fun, and do our gymnastics the way we know how to do. Reminder, the format, 6 gymnasts will compete on the event. Only 5 scores count, so a little bit of room there, a little bit of give. Kentucky will be led off by Shaylin Luksick. Is really good in this leadoff position for them. Kentucky really focused a lot this year on trying to peak at the right time, and they got it right this year, which is why they are here with an opportunity. It's going to take a big beam rotation for them to stay in this thing. A Nodi, very difficult skill. Executes that flawlessly, nice and square. You cannot be off on that skill. Back handspring layout. Looks very calm up there. That lead-off position on the balance beam, so crucial, because of course, that sets the tone for the rest of the team. Cat leap, switch leap half, good position. I think she got that 180 degrees that the judges are looking for. Just simple beat jump. Kentucky really out here showing their pride, competing so well. Of course, we talk about stuck landings. I wouldn't give that a stick. It was as close as you can get to it, just the slightest little scooch back, but a solid opening routine. Shaylin does a good job on that one. Next up will be Jillian Prakaski for Kentucky. Yeah, Kentucky's worked really hard on the composition of these routines to maximize the scoring potential and really give themselves an opportunity for some big numbers here. Shaylin Luksick, season high, 9.9, so definitely an athlete that has the ability to get into that 9.9 range. Jillian Perkaski, same thing, 9.9 is her season high. Now would be a magnificent time for them to pull out those routines that can score in that range. So again, athletes have to just stay calm in the moment while they wait for the judges to flash scores for the athlete, and then they'll give them the green flag, letting them know that it's time to go. Big smile, and she's been given the green flag. Score for Shaylin, really good, 9.85 to start off. That's a very strong leadoff score. Of course, there's 6 judges, so those big scores are a lot tougher to come by. They drop the high-low, average the 4 middle scores. Back handspring layout, and I thought I saw a little bit of movement in her foot before that back handspring. That may just be what she does on that, but no bobble on that. Flight series back handspring layout, very well executed. Cat leap, switch leap, ring, wow. Good position on that. Again, the head goes back and your eyes leave the balance beam. It's only 4 inches, so there's no room for error on those. Front aerial, beat jump. In combination, the judges want everything to be connected. Whips her full turnaround pretty quickly. See if she can get the landing here, gain her back pike, and she went for it, but I wouldn't say it's a stick. It wasn't quite controlled. She was going back with her momentum, but again, another solid routine. Kentucky, this group is so relentless, and they've built everything on consistency and fight. They practice that way, and they transfer that into the competition, and they've shown that all year. Bailey Bunn is next up for Kentucky in that 3rd spot for them. Season high for Bailey Bunn, 9.925. Something interesting for Bailey that Tim Garrison shared with us is that she wants Tim to stand there for her beam dismount, actually. Something that they started doing when she was coming back from a patella injury. And now she kind of prefers it, likes it. So it'll be interesting to see if he steps up and is there on the dismount for Bailey Bunn. But of course, a good opportunity. Another 9.85 in the 2nd spot. Jillian Perkaski scored just in. And she'll get underway. Bailey really good on this event. Very consistent. I'm always interested in that full turn of where it goes. Some athletes prefer it in the middle, in the beginning, want to get it out of the way, sometimes at the end. Triple flight series, back handspring, layout, right on. Switch leap, split jump, good position. Once again, judges are looking for that 180 degrees. And there's Tim Garrison standing in there at the end of the balance beam for this dismount to help her feel comfortable. Double twist, and there's a landing. She knows that was a good one. Great routine for Bailey Bunn. Gets the first stick in this Kentucky lineup. Again, we always talk about how important those small things are with the parity in college gymnastics. It used to just be like, if you had a good beam team, you had an opportunity. Now, all these teams are so good on this event that it really comes down to the most small details, the smallest details, those landings, hitting the 180-degree position on the leaps, not bobbling on simple stuff like full turns. Every 10th matters. Kentucky really has just honed in on that momentum from regionals, this historic season, to get them here, and they seem just so relaxed and calm and in the moment, and you can't ask for much more than that from these athletes on this big stage. Ariana Patterson in that 4th spot. Just waiting to get the go-ahead, that green flag from the judges. Notice with a lot of the Kentucky athletes, they don't have the coaches up there initially at the equipment. Every team, every athlete's different. They're very mentally tough, and they have their processes that they go through. Here we go. She gets that full turn out of the way. Again, finesses that a little bit. That was a slightly off, but just keeps moving through that fluidly. Struggled a little bit of this on warm-up, back handspring layout, and no problem in competition in the moment when it matters. Beautiful flight series from Ariana. Front aerial, split jump, and again, slight balance check there. A little tight, just needs to settle in. I think that was a bit rushed. She definitely wasn't off and didn't get the 180-degree position on that split jump either. So judges will probably take a little bit. Score in for Bailey Bunn, 9.8875. So scores building, which is exactly what you want to see on an event like balance beam. Gainer back pike, another stuck dismount. Good job from Ariana Patterson getting through that beam routine. Very minimal balance checks and deductions. So Kentucky just moving right along. Haven't seen any of those scores break into that 9-9 range yet, but with these last 2 competitors, and Raina Worley and Isabella Magnelli, definitely opportunity there. Of course, Raina Worley, just a phenomenal athlete. She's had a phenomenal year. 9.975 is her season high on this event, and she's so much fun. She's such a leader. She's so strong in the all-around. She's reliable. And one of the things that they always say about Raina is she's always having fun, always dancing, full of energy, and she will sing any song that comes on. We saw it in warm-ups. She was just out there having a good time. Kentucky really having a good showing in the postseason. Again, just so many records broken for this team, and Raina getting the go-ahead that she can go. qualifying for nationals, Raina just talked about how it's just such a big accomplishment for this team. And coming off last year, like they wanted it so bad. And that's what they have been fighting for this entire season, and proving to people that they can be here with these teams has just been so great. And I feel like we'll continue to see Kentucky thrive. Score in for Ariana Patterson, 9.7875, so lowest score so far in this lineup. Good combination there for Raina Worley. Front aerial, immediate back handspring layout. Good full turn, another one that finishes that up on releve. She's got those sticky feet, Raina does. 1.5 dismount, and doesn't quite get the stick, not controlled, and it looked almost like she tucked down a little bit out of that 1.5. I think, I don't know what that was about, but a little bit of a form break in that 1.5, uncharacteristic for her, but nonetheless, really strong routine from Raina Worley. It's setting Isabella Magnelli up for an opportunity to get a big score. They're gonna wanna drop that 9.7875 from Ariana Patterson. That's the lowest score so far. Talk about how this Kentucky team is so unique in that it's hard, they're fighters. It's hard to get them flustered. They just go out there and they do what they have to do, and they've had so much fun doing it. It's been so much fun to watch. Isabella Magnelli, 9.975 season high. So again, another athlete that has the potential to get into that scoring range. Something unique about her is everybody talks about her unique sense of fashion and style. She actually wants to be a fashion designer. Pretty cool there. Anchor spot on balance beam, so important. This is the routine that closes everything out. Generally, a lot of times teams will put their strongest scoring potential and most consistent athlete in that anchor spot. This is a beautiful routine. Raina Worley score in 9.875. Triple flight series, layout from Isabella, wow. I like the height that she gets. Really shows off that triple flight series. No scores in that 9.9 range for Kentucky so far. Good position and great connection on that leap pass. Nice front aerial, solid. She's rocking this routine. Great full turn. Stuck dismount, so important. Back gainer pike, and there's the stick. I think that could potentially be one of those big scores for Kentucky on balance beam. Definitely triple flight series, she executed well. I didn't see any balance checks, good positions on the leaps and the jumps. So again, Kentucky really having a good showing in this semifinal. Again, they were fourth going into this third rotation, so have to wait and see what the rest of the action looks like and how the other teams are doing to see if they're going to be in a position to make a run at this thing. Anything can happen, every routine counts. And the individual competitor rotating with Kentucky is none other than Jade Carey of Oregon State. Her team did not qualify, unfortunately, out of that very, very competitive Denver regional, but she did qualify on the balance beam. And you know, you can't say enough good things about Jade Carey. I've got Bridget Sloan joining me now for this great routine that we're gonna see, I'm sure, from Jade Carey.
Oh, I have no doubt, but let me tell you, Utah just rocked it on uneven bars, so I'm excited for you to have them next for that 4th rotation.
And they just happen to be the #1 team on balance beam too.
I mean,
so
you don't get there by chance. You really don't. But competing as an individual, Jade Carey, used to seeing her in the all-around.
Yes, yes. I mean, like I was just talking about that tough, you know, Denver qualifier. I mean, not here with the team. I mean, that threw a lot of folks. She's the #1 all-arounder at the conclusion of the regular season in the country. Just dominated all year. And to only see her on one event, we do feel lucky to get to see her here, though.
Well, Ashley, we've talked about this so much. Gymnastics is getting so hard. I mean, the difficulty is just being elevated. Jade Carey coming with so much experience, really capitalizing on those moments of her international career, applying that to her her NCAA.
And that's still going on. She's still training for the international competitions.
She is not done yet.
Yeah, she's still got a lot left in the tank, and you know, it's a very unique experience. It's a lot of numbers, a lot of she trains both routines. These routines are much more simple, which is I think why she executes them so well. But you throw into that going week after week after week, it's pretty unbelievably and remarkable what she's done at Oregon State. She's had so much success.
Dismount, gainer full.
Nails it.
Beautiful.
Wouldn't expect anything less from Jade Carey. And that's going to conclude her season. Jade Carey, amazing. Looking forward to continuing to see her at Oregon State. That's going to conclude the 4th rotation. And Isabella McNally closes out Kentucky beam huge. Goes 9.950. Make sure that you tune in and join us. Join me here for the 4th rotation, where we're going to be seeing the #1 team in the nation on balance beam, Utah. Welcome back to the 4th and final rotation, where we're going to see the #1 ranked Utah Utes team on the balance beam, where they shine. I'm Ashley Miles Grieg, bringing you all the action on the stream team here for balance beam in this semifinal #2. Utah currently, big picture right now, sitting in 2nd place. Only the top 2 teams out of this semifinal will qualify for a spot in Saturday's final. Florida and LSU already there. We're going to get to find out right here who joins them. Utah is in a perfect position. This is the best event that they could want to be in this slot for on balance beam, where they're so good. Utah is like a beam machine. Utah, one of those programs, this so much history, and they are wanting to cross that finish line because it has been so long since they've been able to do so and win a national title as a team. So good opportunity for them. Utah is the only team in the nation to qualify for all 47 national championships. That's quite the feat. So this beam rotation, really, really important for them. Amelie Morgan will lead them off here shortly to get this rotation started. Very much going to be key for them to stay within themselves. Utah has proven that they have no problem doing that. And it also looks like there is a Grace McCallum is going on the balance beam in that anchor spot, so that is great as well. They're going to maximize their scoring potential. And one thing about Utah on beam is I can't overstate how good they are on this event. Amelie Morgan, season high 9.925. She's a sophomore from Bristol, England. In that leadoff spot, she's gonna get them going. Unique mount front walkover onto the beam from the board. Goes right into her flight series, triple flight series, back handspring layout. Flawless. Everything they've built, according to Coach Tom Farden, was, is built for the postseason and peaking at the right time. In recent years, they've had a very difficult time of just crossing that finish line. This year, they look incredible. A front gainer off the side. The first stuck landing for Utah. Great opening routine. That's exactly what you want to see with everything on the line. A spot in the final and a chance to win the national title as a team. Such a unique dismount. I love that dismount. I don't think anyone else in college gymnastics does that dismount. She executes it so well. Just talk about the culture of Utah gymnastics. Their chemistry is so good. They hit on all cylinders. They have so much fun out there. They're out there to compete. And they're very precise. Coach Farden talked about he doesn't know that he's ever seen a team in his 13 years that is so intentional in the gym. Like, they are all about execution, honing in on the details, making sure that they're giving themselves the best opportunity to maximize those scores and really perform and have a good time while doing it. You can't ask for more than that from a team. Abby Paulsen up next for Utah in that second spot. The senior has announced that she is returning for the 2024 season. Along with two of her teammates, she'll be one of those super seniors who, of course, taken advantage of that COVID year that these athletes get. Season high for Abby Paulsen on balance beam is 9.975, and Amelie Morgan opens them up with a 9.8875. So very good, solid leadoff score for Utah on the balance beam. Side aerial, back layout, beautiful combination, spot on, nice and square. Good combination. I think that front leg maybe just a little under that 180 degree, but good combo there. Full turn, finesses that, does a really deep squat. Again, that's a veteran move, making those micro corrections within the skill. That just shows they practice that. Side aerial, immediate back 1.5. Nice and clean, a little uncontrolled landing, but again, she stayed on the equipment, balance beam. They know that there's a lot on the line. This is a very important rotation for them. They're trying to nab one of those last two spots in the final. Balance beam is a tough event. They are the #1 ranked team, but nerves are a real thing. And of course, we know balance beam is only 4 inches. So room for error, very small. Kara Eaker will be up next in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th spot for Utah on balance beam. Every single one of these athletes has been perfect this year, has scored a perfect 10. That just goes to show how strong and lights out they are on this event. Utah has actually not scored below a 49.4 on beam this entire season. That's just unbelievable on an event like balance beam. To have that type of stat is huge. You gotta feel like they're confident that they can get this done. This thing is really tight in that second and third spot going into this last and fourth final rotation. Here's Kara Eager on beam. Switch leap up onto the balance beam. Very fluid movement. I like that. It's unique. Again, very important that the hips stay square. Sometimes stuff that seems so simple can get tricky real quick, like full turns. Does a nice full turn there in the beginning of the routine, gets that out of the way. Side aerial, back layout. Great. Nice smile. Anytime you get a smile on balance beam, I always point it out. That means they are comfortable, honed in, and flowing through this routine. Just the dismount, see if she can get the landing. Gainer full off the side. Another stuck dismount. Meanwhile, score for Abby Paulsen, 9.85. So haven't broken into that 9.9 plus range yet in this beam rotation for Utah. And you kind of feel like we need to start seeing these scores rise just a little in this lineup, because this thing is close. It's going to come down to the wire. Oklahoma already finished on the vault. Vault goes by pretty quick. I think they put up some big numbers over there. I'm looking at their team total, 198, 1625. That's a huge number from Oklahoma. Halfway through this Utah lineup, 3 athletes have gone, 3 to go. 6 athletes total. Top 5 scores are going to count. Crystal Issa on deck. We just wait for the judges to tally up their scores. Again, it's a 6-panel judge, so 6 judges. Big scores are very hard to come by. They drop the high and low and average the middle 4 to come up with the number in the postseason. Coach Farden talked about how they individualize things with their athletes, which is so important if you want to get the best out of them in that team environment, builds that confidence. They've clearly done a remarkable job doing that on this event. Balance beam so strong for Utah. Again, ranked #1 in the country on this event, and in the latter part of this lineup, you hope to start to see those scores start to rise a little bit. There we go. Kara Eager scores in 9.9125. And Crystal Issa gets her beam routine started. You just kind of get the feeling everything is so important here. Triple flight series, layout. Great, spot on, nice and square. Good form and execution in that triple flight series. Another smile. Personality coming out in this routine from Crystal Issa. She is so comfortable up there. Good 180 degrees. She gets that good position on the leaps. See if she can get the landing. That's 4 landings for Utah. So taking care of business once again. Good setup in that 3rd spot with a big score and a little, you know, emotions coming out from these athletes. This is so important, these big moments. I just love to see that, just the pure emotion from these athletes. She's gone up there, she's done her job for her team. The charge continues on for them to try to nab one of those last spots. A lot of energy in this arena right now. Utah, of course, want to stay settled in their team. Balance beam is a tough event to end on. You want to have that energy. Crystal Issa, you know, showing some emotions there. Hugs all the way around. She just did a remarkable job. Judges taking a little bit of time with the score here. Carly Dockendorf giving her those last few tidbits and advice. Miley O'Keefe. She's off. She is remarkable on this event. Another athlete that has been perfect 4 times this year on balance beam, actually a program record for the most 10s on a single event in the same season. Wow. And you see right there, very clean, precise gymnastics from Miley. Big score from Crystal Issa coming up before her 9.9625. So again, big, big number. So UCLA has concluded their competition. And it's coming down to this, folks. Every 10th, so important. Just the dismount and sticks it. Wow, wow, that is clutch. Huge routine. Miley O'Keefe, they know that that was big for them. The scoring potential, the composition of that routine, so big. That's gonna be a huge score. Wow, wow. Grace McCallum in that anchor spot. Next up for Utah. Whew, a lot going on here, folks. Balance beam, so crucial in the big picture scheme of the postseason. It can make or break teams, but Utah showing right now that they own this event. And I think we've got a big score coming from Miley O'Keefe. Bridget Sloan joining me, waiting for Miley O'Keefe's score in. She just rocked beam and just waiting for them to flash what the final score is. Oh, it's a 10. Miley O'Keefe, perfect 10. That is the 5th 10 for her this season. Remarkable.
I mean, that's rock star status right there. And let me tell you, bars was crazy.
And even without Grace McCallum's score, that seals the deal for Utah in that second spot as they concluded. That's 5 scores. If you count all those, they're 198, 150. Wow. So this is just icing on the cake here. I mean, let's see what kind of number Grace can put up. Maybe they can move into that.
This is when Grace can really just go out there and have fun.
Yes.
Yeah, no pressure.
Right?
Utah, you are advancing along with Oklahoma.
Wow.
In a triple wolf turn.
And then follows it up with a double. Yeah, wow. They very well could qualify in that top spot as well with this beam routine. If Grace puts up a big number that we know she can, but handspring layout, solid.
Grace has so much talent, but the experience that she brings in these, not that this is a high pressure situation right now, but that experience, something you can't teach. And she came to Utah with it, and they've really just honed in on that. Made sure she's mentally always ready, getting her back in the lineups.
Taking care of her body as well. And guess what? They still have Saturday because they're going to be there on the floor with a chance. Gainer back tuck. Oh, my goodness. Nailed the landing.
Wow.
That was a great routine.
Absolutely outstanding from Utah on their last 2 events.
Yes.
Bars and beam they were lights out.
You love to see that emotion from her as well on that. Tom Farden is fired up. Fired up.
You think so?
Yes.
Is that what you see too?
For good reason. For
Absolutely.
good reason. So, of course, Utah has an individual event qualifier rotating with them, and that would be Nora Flatley of Arkansas, who qualified as an individual on the balance beam. And this could be another huge moment for Nora. This is her 5th year. She's closing out her college career campaign at Arkansas. She's had so much fun this season, has just immediately fit with that group, led by example. She's so pleasant to speak with. She is one of the nicest individuals I've met here. And I'm really pulling for her to pull out that beam routine that we know she can do.
Absolutely. She's really found that joy. I mean, you can tell she is such a joy to watch. Being at Arkansas under head coach Jordan Weber and Kyla Ross, 2 athletes that she is used to being coached by.
Celebrations going on in the arena right now because Utah has just confirmed that they qualified in the top spot. They surpassed Oklahoma with Grace McCallum 9.925, and Nora is off on beam.
Nora competing as an individual, used to seeing her in that all-around position, but she is so fierce on this event.
Great combination, no breaks in that, right on. She's got those hands that she finishes everything. It's unique to her. She finishes all the way through, very sharp movements. I love it. Does the full turn with the leg extended in combination with a split jump that does hit the 180-degree and a beat jump. Solid.
She would never not hit that 180-degree.
Not an option for her. That's
not in Nora's routine. Just the dismount, back handspring, 1.5 twist.
Drills the landing, and that could be another huge score. Oh, so emotional for Nora.
How
what a way to finish.
Amazing.
What a way to finish. Emotions there from Kyla Ross as well. My goodness, you just love to see that.
Last routine of her career, kisses the beam.
Yeah, these are those moments that stay with you. She'll remember this forever. Like, what a great moment to cap off her amazing gymnastics career. And that concludes the beam rotation. Utah came and did exactly what the #1 ranked beam team country should do, and they secured a spot in the final with that beam performance. So congratulations to Utah and Oklahoma. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on Saturday, where I will be bringing you again every single beam routine from the final. See you then.